Amazing. Rocky, want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Some say chill days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's shroud. And yet somehow that way is fake, with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be a free days of you and me. I'm
sailing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzles in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Dire wolves back and so are you.
Oh yeah,
Belvedere flying so the moon.
oh yeah.
And everyone singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wunderkind, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. You have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up blue to
Epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no phone. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies and
gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! The Disney earnings report for Q3 is done, and ladies and gentlemen, the stock is also perhaps done. Bloomberg was reporting this thing would be up something like 6%. Instead, it's at 2.3 and dropping. No financial advice being given to you today. But if we take a look at the 5-year, you can see that Disney is down 43%. And if we go out to the max, when is the last time they came into the $100 mark? Well, folks, if you've been holding on Disney since, early 2015, you still have the same amount of money, even if your money is worth less. That's despite Disney investing $100 billion into streaming, and despite Disney purchasing Fox for something like $70 billion. Where did the billions go? We'll get to Ron and LW Ghost in just a moment, as well as Jonas J. Campbell to find out what they think about this. But first, folks, the story of the day is Disney has cut Disney Plus and Hulu investments to the bone. It's not narrow, it's straight to the marrow, and this is out of Variety. Jennifer Mass, hidden inside the article, but we'll connect the dots for you. Disney streaming profit doubles in June quarter, company shifting consumer products to studios division, it says. Here's what we need, though. I'll read the first paragraph just so you know I'm not cherry picking, then we'll go down to the paragraph we need. Disney posted mixed results for the June 2026 quarter, as Disney Plus and Hulu continued to boost profits and the theme parks division turning in solid performance, they say. And Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro revealed his latest movie to restructure the media conglomerate's operations. He's moving most of consumer products out of Disney Experiences and into the entertainment unit, which, by the way, is so that Dana Walden can have control of all the merch. And then when a movie flops, they can say, oh, wait, that wasn't really what happened because we generated X, Y, and Z amount of money off of diapers and doilies. Here's what we need, though. Take a look at this, folks. This is the paragraph where it's hidden inside, and you got to see it to believe it. On the streaming front, says Variety, revenue from Disney Plus and Hulu was up 11% for the April through June quarter. And I want to remind folks that we're talking about April through June because Disney really likes to boast about their attendance at Disney parks. Let's just say once we get into the summer months for that report, not going to be the same. But the streaming revenue was up 11% for that quarter to $5.53 billion. Yay for Disney, right? 11%. But operating income, which is profit, somehow doubled. Now, how in the world do you have 11% increase in revenue, but you double your profits? Well, hang tight, folks. We'll explain. Disney said overall streaming subscription revenue was up 15%. Okay? $4.7 billion. Now, we don't know, by the way, how that subscription revenue is derived. We just know it's up 15%. Ad sales only increased 3%, probably not keeping up with inflation. Here's the problem. If you're up 15% in subscribers and 3% only in ads, and yet you somehow doubled your profits, the only way that is possible is if you did so by cutting your investments like crazy to the bone. So if you're wondering, where's my new Marvel show? Why did they cancel Wonder Man? Why do I not have new Star Wars? Why do I not have anything? Where's Bluey, darn it? No new Bluey either. Well, it's because they've cut everything. They've cut everything. So what do you get? Well, right now, you got King of the Hill, and one day, someday, you'll get Ahsoka Season 2. And that's about it for Disney Plus. They have cut streaming to the core, and that's why, perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're kind of seeing that pop and drop, where, looky here, it came out at 102, and then it's been going down. Will it stay above 100 by the end of the day? We don't know. Could, maybe. Don't know, folks. But yeah, if it follows the trend, you all know how this goes. We get the ups and downs, and Disney still is down 43% over the last 5 years. More than 50%, by the way, or almost 50% if we were to compare it to its high in 2021. All right, panel, let's go to you first. Jonas J. Campbell, if you wouldn't mind to take this away, your thoughts on Disney cutting to the core, Disney Plus streaming, and then declaring, well, we doubled profits.
Well, having watched the earnings call and been on Valiant Renegade's earnings call live stream, looking through all of this and examining what they said, they weren't focused on creativity in any way. All they had were business products and data offerings and consolidation of data. It really wasn't much about the actual products they offer. It was all around the services and the presentation of those products, which to me shows an inherent failing in the flywheel here. They did talk about the flywheel and how this product sold and that product sold because of this and that. I'm not actually confident that the movement of Toy Story 5 was what moved so much product. They said that Moana moved product, but whatever they earned from Moana product, they were earning that already from the fact that Moana is an evergreen property on Disney Plus. So a lot of this, it just seems like it's churning the water to make it look like there's a fish in there. And there's nothing in there that's worth frying up to.
Yeah, it was one of the most dull, boring earnings reports we've ever seen. I feel like we're watching, Apple without Steve Jobs. Lou, you've been in the industry. You know it well. What did you think about the way this went, and specifically the idea that they're making double the profit on very little increase in revenues, and then nobody comes out and says, "Oh, by the way we did that is we're not making anything anymore."
Well, it shows that your moniker, your nom de plume, is in keeping with the other pros out there who are watching what's happening to the stock, which is they saw the headline and said, okay, well, sounds good. And then they looked a little deeper and found what you found. I find this moving of the consumer products over fascinating too.
Yes.
Does it mean they anticipate more revenue from themed popcorn buckets than they do from perennial Mickey Mouse stuff?
That's a great question. Do the popcorn buckets count as experiences or do they count as consumer products?
Well, but I'm just saying in the vast panoply of consumer stuff they sell, are they selling more themed to a particular movie than they are to the time-honored classics, And that includes in the parks as well as out there in the world. It also means that she will now be in charge of any contracts that they have with the toy makers.
Dana Walden.
Yeah. And that'll be kind of interesting, won't it? They'll go, oh, hey, there's a new sheriff in town. So like you said, this looks like wonderful top headline, but then when you look behind the curtain, well, they would like you to pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Lou, what do you think about the idea that the reason they're moving the consumer stuff, the merch, everything into entertainment is because then they can say when a movie flops, oh, well, actually, we generated all this money off of Moana diapers.
Right, well, nobody went to see it, but the people who did bought a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Basically, bottom line is what you're saying, and that's exactly what it's saying.
Ron, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. We're looking at all the walls at Walt Disney World, and one of the things that came up during the earnings report, in addition to cutting streaming to its core, I mean, they're not investing at all anymore. One of the things that came up was, Villains Land is this big expansion that's on the way, and, they're going to do great things with that. Ron, I don't get the sense that Villains Land is anywhere close. I mean, it's crazy to me to bring up something in an earnings report for June, of this year that I don't think is going to be finished until the mid 2030s. What did you think about that?
It looks like it is almost finished or very, closing in on being finished is over at Universal. There's a new Fast and Furious roller coaster that they have, fast tracked and it's doing really well. At the same time, Villains Land, Cars Land, Piston Peak, it's just a big mound of dirt.
This is the latest photo from BioReconstruct from just a few days ago of what Villains Land looks like. I mean, it's just dirt.
They destroyed something great to put something in that I think is not going to end up being great. As a matter of fact, they apparently what they're keeping doing. It's almost like Marvel movies. They don't really know what the end game for Villains Land is going to be, and so it keeps changing plans. And I think it will continue to keep changing plans. Probably changes plans as they're doing all this digging, literal digging, realizing that they can't do this or they can't do that or they have to move this or whatever. Because, they're still building on Swampland. They had something there that was iconic, that was unique to the Disney World and the Magic Kingdom. And no other theme park has anything like a Rivers of America, Liberty Bell, the Tom Sawyer's Island. And it was a place of refuge inside the park. They could have left it alone or altered it a little bit and made Piston Peak, made Villains Land. They chose not to do that.
They had all the land in the world.
They're doing this, and I don't see Villains Land opening before 2030 at least. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but
No.
That said, I think the reason why they're building stuff on top of where there already was stuff is that it means a lot of the infrastructure development is grandfathered in. Remember, they live in a brave new world now of no longer Reedy Creek saying yes, sir, to anything they ask. Going outside,
Right.
But I had another question about the Disney.
At the speed of the snail that they move at, it doesn't make much difference except in the cost. So anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But I had another question about the Disney Plus stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Disney Plus really flat. But can you imagine a world in which DEI had not been so introduced into the company, where they would have thought through shows based on stories and how we're going to actually go forward and really bring things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Mandalorian even. Imagine had Gina Carano not been fired from the Mandalorian, and those plans that Jon Favreau had could have gone through. I mean, there have been so many mistakes, I think, made by the Disney company based on ideology that have lost the company billions of dollars. Am I saying that wrong?
No, I think you're correct, Ron, and I think you make a really good point. The thing I would add to that, or maybe I'm just rephrasing it, is this content was actually fine for watching as a family, and families are starved for things that they can watch together. So all it had to be was inoffensive. And unfortunately, when they went into the political stuff, they had a question in here of whether or not this stuff was going to be offensive to large sections of the population of America for moral reasons. So all of a sudden, you've eliminated 4 major pillar franchises with sub franchises because parents don't know whether this stuff is going to be clean, so they don't want to watch it with their kids. And it's an incredible loss that they had so much default viewing that they just threw that away because of their own hubris about their own ideologies.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? They just had to be inoffensive. Lauren, we've talked about this before. They chose to be offensive. Now we're hearing from people who work at Disney that Dana Walden is putting this right back into politics. And the solution seems to be that they're just going to cut investments. Just completely cut investments and not make any new stuff, but they'll make it at the box office. And then once they make it at the box office, if it flops, whatever, but they'll kick it on over to Disney Plus. I guess the only plan they have at this point is pray for Spider-Man Brand New Day to make its way to Disney by this holidays, so that they can then say biggest Disney Plus, streaming movie ever.
So I'm joining late, and I didn't hear the call. So you're going to have to catch me up a little bit, because what you just described sounds to me like I don't see where the profit comes in. You're saying that they're going to make it up at the box office, but if their movies are losing money, how are they making it up at the box office?
It's different divisions. So Disney Plus can claim it's profitable because they're not spending on making new shows. They're just acquiring the movies from the studios.
Okay, so that's an accounting bookkeeping trick. That doesn't really mean you're making money. I mean, if you're slashing all of production, I guess if your only hope is that your movies are somehow going to make it look like Disney Plus is successful, but you're not driving new subs and advertising's not keeping up with inflation, you're still losing money. Their only solution out of this is to actually create content that keeps people wanting to watch more content and that actually makes money. You have to do those two things. If you don't do those two things, you're still losing. So I don't think this is going to be a successful strategy. This is just smoke and mirrors.
Right. Jonas, walk us through how long they can do this. How long can they go through putting almost nothing new onto Disney Plus and having acquired properties like Family Guy and King of the Hill on Hulu? How long can that strategy hold up?
I think they can do it for quite some time. The thing is, Hulu's a different value proposition than Disney Plus. I think, but the fact that they are merging Disney Plus and Hulu together, but people still have the option of subscribing to Hulu, that shows some weakness in that original strategy that Bob Iger putting everything under the Disney brand was seemed to be going for here. I think they've got 5 years if they aren't actually interested in growth. They say they're interested in growth, but They'll have a while before they're done with all of this stuff. I hate to say smoke and mirrors for the quote unquote improvements to the park that they're making, the quote unquote expansions to the park that they're making here. It's going to be a little while before Epic Universe has their next, Universal has their next new park. They've got Paramount and Warner Brothers struggling through their stuff over there, and that's fine. I think it'll be a while before someone else can do something that distracts from the current "we promise the band's going to make it" idea that they've got at Walt Disney right now. They need new content. They need creatives within the company, and they don't have that. So all they have right now is data, Disney Plus, which when I say Disney Plus, they're talking about DTC, and they're talking about the benefits of DTC, which have yet to materialize after 6 years of Disney Plus, 7 years, whatever it is. And they just need more to walk Wall Street to this dog walk down the road. I think the greatest asset to the company right now is the institutional shareholders who don't want to pull the rug out from under Disney, because it's not in their own best interests to be invested in a company that they're going to pull the rug out from under.
Yeah, and Ron, as we look at what's going down in the future, years ago, the way Disney picked up subscribers, or they seem to be, was they had Star Wars shows that they announced. I mean, think about all the Star Wars shows. They had Marvel shows. Think about all those. They had Pixar shows that were on Disney Plus. All that's gone. We're down to King of the Hill and Ahsoka season 2. Sometime.
And the funny thing is, a lot of the fan loyalty was lost because of just serious mistakes like She-Hulk. She-Hulk was just so awful. And
I forgot about She-Hulk.
And fans just, they left. They went away. So that when you have more interesting, more in-depth properties like Wonder Man, which I actually liked. I thought it wasn't bad. It's very different than what you expect from a superhero property, but Wonder Man was decent and it really deserved a season 2, but nobody's watching anymore because Disney, people have lost faith in what this company has been producing. A company that had the faith of people for 100 years. and then they produced Wish for their 100th anniversary, and it was just, it wasn't just a flop, it was just bad writing. And the palette for Wish, even when you watch it, I'm like, why is this whole thing so grayish? Why isn't it bright and vibrant and wonderful?
Let me just pause you, Ron, for a second. What's amazing to me is there are lots of people right now listening to you talk about this, and they have no idea what Wish is. That's how bad that was.
Right. There may be more people who have ridden on the Disney Wish than went to go see the movie Wish.
Oh, without a doubt.
I still haven't seen Mandalorian and Grogu, and I eventually probably will, but it just doesn't look interesting, and that's a huge problem. The reason I went to see Spider-Man: Brand New Day is because the marketing looked interesting, the trailers looked interesting, and there was not one of the stars came out and said, like Tom Holland didn't go, the thing we're going to do with Brand New Day is like, we're going to introduce some characters that have, that are transgender, because we want to speak to that part of the audience. And we definitely want to introduce some LGBT content because we want to speak to that part of it. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to pilfer the audience and pluck out little things and make sure that we're satisfying these groups so that we're not satisfying these groups. It was, hey, it's a good movie. We all had fun making it. Let's go see it.
Yes. Lauren, I'll give you the final word on this. It seems to me that the damage that was done by the way they treated Gina Carano, as Ron brought up, and, inserting all this political commentary into what is essentially kids content that's supposed to drive Disney Plus. If they hadn't had Bluey, this whole thing goes kablooey. We're at the point now where they're all pretending. We looked at this on Nielsen, and I don't have it available right now. I wish I did, but if you look at Nielsen, Disney Plus is almost certainly losing to what are the names of the two streaming services, Jonas?
Netflix and YouTube?
No, worse. Roku and Tubi.
Tubu.
Yeah. Oops. That's what I was doing. In my head, I was like, get out of that. Roku and Tubi.
Ludicrous names that they call streamers right now. Yeah.
So Lauren, I think the decisions that we all condemned, I think they come home to roost with the House of Mouse.
Yeah, I think I'm still kind of waking up, so my thoughts are going to be a little slow trying to come out of my mouth this morning. I apologize.
Folgers in your cup.
I think I would push back a little bit on Jonas and you slightly in that I don't know that it's necessarily that people are tuning out because they don't trust Disney after what they did. Because honestly, I don't think the majority of parent households are policing what their kids watch that closely. I think there's a segment that does, but I think a lot of them really just use these channels to plop their kids down and give them something to watch without really paying a lot of
right.
But
And those
that's
kids
not
are
enough.
Those kids are watching Bluey, though.
Right. That's not enough.
Those kids are not sitting down to watch The Mandalorian and Grogu.
To catch Netflix, Disney needed to give a proposition, that people were, beyond just the 3-year-olds and the 5-year-olds, and they failed. Now, folks, you might look at this and say, well, Disney actually is at 4.9. They're beating Roku and Tubi, but that's not true. This little star is not a wishing star beside Disney. That's an asterisk. That means that that is Disney plus Hulu, ESPN, and everything else Disney has streaming-wise. Disney Plus itself is probably somewhere around 1.9 to 2.1% of this 4.9. Disney Plus is losing to Prime Video, Roku, Tubi, almost certainly Paramount, and is somewhere down around Peacock. And I said I'd give Lauren the final word, but Jonas, I would be remiss if we missed the opportunity to give you this one. Jonas, in the earnings report, the Q&A, Josh D'Amaro, CEO of Disney, said basically they're sticking with this and they are not going to license the content out to anybody and try to find a new way to make money.
What a dumb idea. What a spectacularly dumb idea. So
great analysis. That's enough. We're stopping there. No, go ahead, Jonas.
The value proposition that he tried to justify here is that owning the customer is more valuable than making money on selling the content, even for a temporary basis somewhere else, which by the way, they've done some licensing on some level. Do you think that Sony is losing a ton of money on Spider-Man Brand New Day because that's going to go to Netflix at some point? By the way, I believe The Force Awakens is still on Stars right now. I don't think that's hurting the movie or Disney's brand identity at this point. They were saying that they want the data from owning a customer from the start to the finish here. They can make deals with whatever streamer they want at a reduced rate in order to get that data, or they can share that data in order to do it. I think this is minimalist thinking in order to justify a faulty business model that owning 100% of a grape is better than owning 25% of a watermelon. If you can make money on your movies, you can make more movies. So this narrative-driven idea that our movies are successful because of Disney consumer products or park activations, all that seems to be is some kind of obfuscation to keep people from realizing what a failure this company currently is, the legacy that they have squandered, the legacy they like to bring up as a marketing tool so much. They're trying to say, oh, well, if we have all of your data, we'll get to market to you better. What are you trying to market? Oh, well, it's the movies. Well, we don't want to make money on the movies because we want to market to you better. No, you're not Amazon. You're not selling me toothpaste. You're not trying to sell me every product in my life. You're trying to sell me movies and theme park tickets and more channels. So unless Disney is priming themselves to be bought out by a larger company that has a much more diverse product offering, and I'm not talking about entertainment when I say this, I'm talking about pharmaceuticals and daily household items and large purchases like cars, okay, sure. Like prep yourself to be bought by a Google or a Microsoft or an Amazon or an Apple in order to make a large market play. Otherwise, Disney has lost its only product, which is entertainment and theme parks. Those are just on autopilot until people really get bored with what already exists in the market.
I don't know. After that earnings report, I'm pretty darn bored. Lauren?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in here because I had a second point that I wanted to make that was tied to the first, and that is that I think a bigger issue here is kind of what we're talking about, the lack of content. You're asking people to pay you a monthly subscription for content that they have either already watched or are not interested in. And with the economy being the way that it is, people are going to subscribe to watch the content they want, and they're going to cancel when they're done with it and go subscribe somewhere else for the content that they want currently. you're not making a value proposition to the customer. Initially, Disney Plus tried to sell itself on being extremely cheap and bundling with your Verizon service to get subscribers on board. But they've continually raised the price since launch, and most of their tiers are now ad-supported, so the value proposition is gone. Their library, unfortunately, is too thin to sustain continued subscriber uptake. So that's the issue. If you're going to cut content creation and just rely on your movies, that ain't enough content to keep people subscribed. It ain't going to work.
And remember, folks, if they had just done the simple work of providing people with the kind of content they want, been inoffensive, and not gone crazy firing folks like Gina Carano, this is a company that right now could be competing with Netflix. Instead, analysts are begging them, please put your stuff on Netflix and start making money again. And our good panelist, LW Ghost, is back. LW Ghost was having some technical issues. Ghost, let's hear you. Oh, you sound good now. You sound
the joy
great.
of technical issues. I have to
That's
get my
right.
little teeny weeny screwdriver out, sonic or otherwise, and play with this thing because there's a loose wiggle in the wire, and such is life.
Easy now. You're going to get into culture's wiggle wire conversations. We've already been there.
Heaven forbid. And
That's right.
You know, that way lies madness or purple potatoes, whichever comes first.
Jonas, the madness is going to be on the screen right now. Let's get the super chats up there. And by madness, I mean, folks, we're mad about you. You're the stars of the show. What do they say?
All right. JP says, member 14, by the way, good morning and God bless. Good morning and God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Yep. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $2. Let's hear about this sizzling earnings call. It's a little too much sizzle, in my opinion. It was a very summer sizzling kind of earnings call.
It's time for my summer sizzle.
Stop it. Get some help.
KB, member for 37. Good morning, everyone. Love the country song intro. I like that one. I find myself singing that one sometimes.
We decided to bring back the summer intro one last time for the Disney Summer Earnings Report. So that's why we did that, folks. But we're back to the typical intro from here on out until we switch over to the Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Burnouts for 5. Unrelated question. What's your opinion on WB Paramount merger stalling until 2027? Because courts and Paramount need to pay Warner Brothers shareholders fee until 2027. So if they don't settle, if they don't settle, they're on the hook for 1.3 billion, or is it 1.13 billion? If it just before it goes to trial, unless they settle, and Newsom is now intervening and saying maybe you should settle.
That's what I was going to mention. Is Newsom is suddenly taking the side against his own attorney general, really?
Yeah, because they're afraid that
he wants to get elected to something. The attorney general doesn't care,
and Paramount will leave the state of California. They will leave. He like Newsom knows how this is going to go, and that will begin perhaps a domino effect in Hollywood. So the full blown crazy in California. We're going to talk about that next segment. Hang tight.
Yep. There's some things that the public in large doesn't realize about that as well. So Paul, 12,000 for 5. Cool. Just started joining in for lunch. Missed the live call.
Welcome aboard. Hope you've got a good lunch. Remember, based on what we said the other day, make sure that it's a hoagie, a bun, a sandwich of some sort. A beautiful little wrinkly hoagie.
Hey, there's a character Disney could make a whole show about, Wrinkly Hoagie.
There you go.
And The Incredibles or something.
It's a superhero. Oh, Ham the Third. Well, that's perfect, eh?
Yeah. Good to see you there. Still think D needs free Disney Plus service with ad support. Yes, I would agree. There's nothing like giving people what they actually want to watch and seeing how long they tune in for.
The saddest thing from this earnings report, Jonas, was when they replaced their AI vertical stuff with they're going to borrow videos from TikTok.
Yeah.
For Disney Plus. Like it's not original stuff. They're literally going to go to TikTok, grab a TikTok video and port it to Disney Plus. TikTok.
Yeah. I can do that on my own. I can open up
and
TikTok
so does
on my
YouTube
own if I want.
daily.
But they don't own that from cradle to grave. That's not a direct to consumer relationship with it. Anyways, whatever.
Well, it worked for Bluey. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Adventure Station train ride to TikTok.
Who
You know what's
knows?
going to be fantastic is if they go to one of those TikTok accounts that just steals scenes from Disney movies and makes it like all like they change the color grading and the filters on it. So Wolf of McGruffle III for $5.03. Speaking of financial advice, I could use some financial advice. How many cheesecakes should I eat?
If you have
All
to
the
ask,
cheesecakes.
If you were in the cast of Wicked, I would say all the cheesecakes you can handle. If you are in the cast of Supersize Me, maybe less.
I would like to swim in a pool of cheesecake. I imagine that would be a pleasant experience.
Ooh, how about that sort of burnt Basque cheesecake, bro? Have you ever made that?
Have I ever made what?
The Basque style burnt cheesecake?
No, I have not.
And the reason I ask is one of my favorite barbecue guys just showed how you could make it in your smoker, which would give it an interesting flavor. So I got to try that sometime.
I have put chocolate in the smoker before with some recipes. Smoked chocolate is fantastic. Never tried anything with cheesecake, but now I'm intrigued.
You guys are making me want cheesecake for my birthday coming up. 55 is coming up, and I might do cheesecake.
You look 35, Ron.
Yeah.
Thanks. I try.
John Platt gifted 6-7 jewels.
We know what that means.
Stafka John says for $5. Did you guys see how he owned the trolls this morning on Valiant Renegade? Defended you guys, but Pro said they said Walt Disney was Antifa cray cray fi.
They said what?
I told Stafka why he probably can't get a wrench on this channel this morning on Valiant Renegade. I told him why he's probably not going to get a wrench over here.
So the trolls over on VR, I'm not fully convinced that was more than one person with lots of accounts. They all spoke the same way and pretty darn cray cray. So maybe some.
They were clones. Are you saying they were clones?
I'm saying they might have been divergent clones hanging out on Valiant Renegade.
They're consistent in some of the things that they say and do. So I don't know. Some of them I think are real people, but they do talk like the clones. Not like the chickens, though. M. Miller for 35 South African Rand. Star Wars Visions presents Ninth Jedi is out and not the duel. Disney has a talent of choosing every wrong story and put a chick in it and make them lame and goy.
And remember, Star Wars Visions would have been put into development 2 years ago-ish. So we're not to the point yet where we find out just how bad this is going to be now that they're not making content. We're talking about the last quarter. It'll be 2 years before we see really how little is coming to these streaming services.
Yep. Snarky D. Hey, it's Snarky D. Good to see you.
Snarky.
We were just talking about you the other day on this show. Good morning. Thank you. Lightning turnaround from VR. Well done.
You know what? Just for the fact he's here. Just for the fact he's here, and I have been missing the Fudge Dora. We're playing it. Snarky go.
That's a beautiful sound in your headphones this morning. I tell you what. Paul 12,000 for $2. Had a peanut butter sandwich. Back to work. Bye.
Add the jelly. Don't be like Elvis. Don't put bananas with it. That's weird.
What? Have you never had peanut butter and banana sandwich?
It's not as good as honey. Just put honey.
Honey, I was going to say, yeah.
Honey's better.
Jelly.
Well, honey's good, but it's just sweetness. The honey takes over the sandwich, whereas the banana complements the peanut butter.
No, the banana becomes too much. The banana is just too mushy for the bread of the sandwich. It's like suddenly a mush in your mouth.
Toast the bread if you're going to put the banana in it.
Amen.
But you're right. Texture-wise, it's all one mush.
Lauren, you're muted as you tell us about your idea that the sandwich becomes mashed potatoes.
No, I was going to say, or rather ask, do you guys just want to permanently seal your crack?
It's funny. There's a fiber ad on the story that was on screen earlier, and I was just chuckling.
We never met a muso we didn't like. Is that what you're trying to say?
This is like colon mortar. What are you doing?
Which part exactly, Lauren? Is the banana or the peanuts? We're trying to get an answer here.
I'm telling you, it's like I always marveled. It's like this is actually what killed Elvis. There's a reason why he was like 16.
I'm going to think it was the massive amount of pharmaceuticals more than.
I'm sure that didn't help, but they pulled 16 feet of colon out of this guy. It's like you got a problem.
Wow.
15 feet of colon, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt? Is that the deal?
Thank you, Lou. That's perfect.
Jonas, one more super chat and then let's hit the next story.
Smith and Sons for $2. You all are the perfect birthday gift to me. Happy birthday to you, Smith and Sons.
Happy birthday. How many?
Oh, not enough. Got to keep going. And folks, many happy birthdays more for Smith and Son.
Yep. Firewalker for $2. Not even the shills could hype this call. God bless.
Boring.
They did add a lot more pixie dust to this one.
That's right.
And then finally, Dreadnought Logan for $2, listening to you while delivering ice cream. Lauren, do you have any objections to that?
Yeah.
Nope. I'm a big fan of ice cream.
Yeah.
And the Smiths and Sons.
Happy birthday!
Well, this whole Paramount buying Warner Brothers thing is getting weird. And what are we talking about? Well, take a look at this. The Hollywood Reporter is talking about just how crazy the courts are in California, and they're crazy. This is political punishment. Winston Cho says Paramount Warner Brothers trial to start in March 2027. It's a blow to David Ellison's team. That's not even close to how bad this is. It's catastrophic. The trial is set to begin roughly 5 months after Paramount starts paying a ticking fee of roughly $7 million per day to Warner shareholders. And there's no doubt the court did this just to make sure they stick it to the Ellisons and try to blow up what's happening. The judge overseen a lawsuit from a coalition of 12 states looking to block Paramount's $111 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery, has scheduled a trial to start in March. Just couldn't find a closer day. The decision marks a blow for the studio, which pushed to start trial in November. Starting on October 1st, Paramount will have to pay a ticking fee of roughly $7 million per day to Warner shareholders until the deal closes. It's likely to be on the hook for upwards of $1.5 billion, accounting for the time it takes for the court to issue a ruling on the antitrust trial. Now, there's a couple of fancy things about this. One is that the governor of California, Newsom, who is no fan of the Ellisons, is still trying, apparently, to get this thing done and get them to get the win and have Warner Brothers. And the reason it would be, of course, because if the crazy California courts go through with this, the Ellisons are going to take Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, CNN, and everything else they got out of the Golden State and go somewhere else to play. And Newsom knows that, and he knows that could unleash the domino effect across all of the studios. Hollywood could be ended by this, but just like we've seen in New York with Mamdani, the crazies, the DSAs, they don't care. Now, the Ellisons are coming back from this with the Hollywood Reporter again, Alex Weprin, and saying that this is all about CNN. This is all about CNN. David Ellison breaks silence on antitrust lawsuit. It's not about market share. It's about CNN. Quote, while I was silent, others were happy to write my story for me. No more. Ellison writes a new op-ed. And he just tears this entire thing a new one. He is furious about this. Why? Because apparently the politicos inside this movement are terrified of them getting hold of CNN, and they want to prevent it at any cost. I can't believe they still think that CNN is the kind of thing they need to defend. CNN is done for them. I mean, listen, Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotic gets a ton more views, literally, than CNN or MSNBC, MS Now. They are fighting over a legacy thing, trying to bankrupt the Ellisons and stop this from happening, and they're threatening to destroy Hollywood over it. This is crazy kamikaze kind of actions from the California courts, Lou.
May I suggest that it's not about how many watch it, it's about who's watching it. Because we have to remember, anybody still watching it, or 99%, are somewhere to the left of the spectrum, which means they probably vote with that D label. Well, within the D itself, we have this huge fight going on between the extreme commie SOBs and the semi-legitimate people. Well, it isn't about CNN in general. It's about CNN before the midterms. It's about timing it and hoping that they don't sort of give them more reasons to either sit it out this time or even, heaven forbid, vote for somebody with an R after their name. So that's what they're worried about, because their percentages are so small as far as what they need to win among various subgroups of the D side. So if you
they're risking, Lou, is my assessment on this correct, though? They're risking Hollywood over this, because if they piss off the Ellisons enough, they're going to take their toys and go play somewhere else. They're going to say, enough of this. Like the Delaware effect.
A little history might be instructive here. The reason why Hollywood exists is because wonderful Thomas Alva Edison used gangster tactics to try to keep movie makers from doing anything other than paying him for using his quote unquote invention, which I say with quotes because other people invented it too. And so they said, we got to get the hell out of New Jersey and New York and go someplace where his thugs can't break our cameras.
All the way across the country would work.
Well, and it wasn't originally even going to be that far because they were making a movie called The Squaw Man, was the precursor of Paramount. Funny that it's the same studio too. And with Dustin Farnham, who was about, he weighs more than me, and he was a cowboy star. And they were going to make it in the wilds of Arizona because they thought, well, gee, Arizona has lots of sunlight, and we need that for our not-so-sensitive early black and white movie film. They got there, and it was raining. So they got back on the train, and next thing you know, a telegram comes to the then New York headquarters of Paramount saying, have rented a barn in a place called Hollywood. We're going to make it here.
And thus it was.
And you can still visit that barn today, by the way. It's over there across from the Hollywood Bowl right now. It's been moved a few times, but it used to be on the back lot at Paramount. So anyway, all I'm saying is this is
Farnham and
not
Paley
news
Circus.
as far as history is concerned.
I would also suggest that it's not just about defending CNN. It is literally about hurting them. They have a golden opportunity because of the way that this acquisition contract was written, that if it wasn't completed within a certain amount of time, they'd have to pay this exorbitant amount of money. So they're looking at it as, well, why wouldn't we push that then? Because it hurts what we consider our opposition.
Right. You know, what's funny is David Ellison's defense is I'm not going to try to make CNN right wing. I'm going to try to make them in the middle, which is, of course,
which moves it to the right.
Which to the people on the left is right wing.
Exactly. So they're not actually scared of it going explicitly right wing. They're scared of not having complete control over the market at this point, which is something that the Fourth Estate has always been pushed to the left in the United States for a very long time. And you could even, not to get political, but even Fox News has been accused of being remarkably in step with left-wing media at times.
Well, let me throw this back at you again, Jonas, because we're not here to just defend Paramount. I think they're making some mistakes in this, and this is the first big blunder that I see out of the Ellisons. Like, I think they're on the pathway to winning, but they need to get away from any missteps at this point. Every misstep is going to cost them, even as the second richest family of legitimate means in the world. Missteps like this could sink them. Jonas, this is Bobby Kotick. He's the former head of Activision Blizzard. And this guy, he brought in microtransactions and loot boxes into gaming at the behest of the island man, Jeffrey, who is no more. But folks, you can figure out who Jeffrey is. He's the island guy with a plane and all that sort of thing. Bobby Kotick is not the kind of figure I think the Ellisons need to be associated with. And right now there's discussion from Niche Gamer that he's been reached out to perhaps be on the Paramount board. I don't know what this gains them. I don't know why they would want to have somebody like this associated. Do you have any insights into what the heck is going on here?
They tend to be going for discount talent right now, and I think that Bobby Kotick might be that kind of guy.
He's discount all right.
They pick up a lot of people who are undeniably talented, but going for a low market rate. So, Kotick has done some of the worst things that we're still seeing the implications of in the industry right now. If you look at what is going wrong with Xbox and with PlayStation, you can see their roots in the things that Bobby Kotick has done in the industry. Horse Armor was the start of all of this. A lot of that started on the Xbox with that first online direct-to-consumer store, and now we're looking at a PlayStation that may not have a disk drive, which means I probably won't own one until they go for like $100 at the discount shop. So
absolutely,
Bobby Kotick is not a good idea for a pickup at Paramount.
Bad news. All right, let's pick this up, Ron, again. This is what the Ellisons are saying. This is a quote. It says, I believe this fight is not really about market share. I believe a plainer worry sits beneath the briefs and the news releases, the news. The issue is whether I can be trusted as a steward of Warner's CNN. There has been speculation about my politics, my loyalties, my intentions. And then he's going to give a defense of this. But I want you to understand, for California, this is backfiring on him. If he's trying to convince California to give him a fair deal, this will not go in his favor. Here's what he says, Ron. Unfortunately, I can't give anyone a view into my heart and mind. But I can share this. I have regularly voted for candidates of both parties. I hold some views that would be called conservative and others that would be called liberal. Just like most Americans, when it comes to our news operations, I do not aspire to lead these companies to bend their newsrooms to my views. I believe that the news should be based on facts and truth. And the problem there, Ron, is that's exactly what California doesn't want to hear. They don't want him to hold back and not bend it. They want him to bend it completely to the left. Bend it like Beckham to the left every single time. This guy is coming out here trying to argue for, I'm a voice of sanity. I'm like most Americans. California AGs don't want you to be like most Americans.
No, they want control. They want control over what Americans think. We've seen that for the last decade. We've seen everything that comes out of the whole, everything that's been ESG, everything that's been DEI is about, it's not about giving people what they want. It is about what can we do to control and bend people to our will. It is the, to use a famous cast member's word, antithesis of what America was founded on, which was freedom and liberty and information. I saw, Elon Musk. It was a really old clip of Elon Musk, I think at least 20 years ago, making a comment about what the internet was going to be in the future and how everyone would have access to all of the information and that should be making things better. It scares people like those that are filing this lawsuit against the Ellisons because when you have a perspective that the mass majority of people cannot clamor onto, the only way to make that perspective work, when you believe it's right, your whole worldview is in this little bubble of the people that also believe it's right. The only way to make that work is to control everyone else to make them believe that it's right. It's like making everybody believe that the entire world should be eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and that's actually good for your diet.
Oh boy, here goes Lorne again. You're gonna get Lorne going again on the banana and the peanut butter. Lorne, lest we get all crusted up on this topic, let me ask you.
If you ate peanut butter and banana sandwiches, that would not be the way to get somebody going. It's the opposite of that.
Oh boy, here we go again. All right, Lorne, it seems to me, speaking of flowing, that we're going to see studios flowing out of California. I think it's inevitable now. I think it's going to be dispersed throughout the country. Do you think this hastens it, or do you think it slows it down even? Maybe the deal that has to be cut in the end with Newsom to get this thing off of them and to say, we promise we won't leave California.
I don't know how to look at it because there's multiple problems that are associated here. It's like, let's say studios begin an exodus and they try and get out of California. Well, where are they going to settle? Are they going to settle at multiple different places? You have all of the talent in California. That's a problem. If actors can't get work and they have to start going to other jobs, then you've lost your talent pool, and they're going to have to decide, all right, if it's not here, where? They have to kind of pick a central location that they all agree with.
Well, I don't know about that. I think just like money is fungible, I think these talents have become fungible because of our connected age. I remember watching them dubbing Star Wars movies in the Bay Area by coaxial from New Zealand and Australia. So also, of course, a lot of people are in Nashville, and that could become a major hub. But look, all the technical talent is moving. And that's, I've gone into this before about how you have to cite your primary location in order to see whether you're entitled to distant location rates when you work somewhere else. But a lot of people live in Vegas and commute into LA right now. A lot of grips, a lot of electricians, a lot of craft service, everybody. And they do it because, why? Because Nevada has no income tax. And so, dollars and cents matter.
You're saying they're actually capitalists then?
Yeah. Funny thing about that.
Below
the line are capitalists, and a lot of above the line people are, but they don't want to show it.
Right. How dare they? How dare they? Lauren, if you want to finish your point, we'd love to hear it.
No, it's just that I think logistically this is actually more difficult than just trying to work remote. And there are advantages to being in California, less so than maybe there once were. But I think ignoring the TMZ, is kind of foolish. There's a reason why you kind of settled in this area. It's because you can shoot for anywhere in the world from that one central location. That's less a concern today than it used to be, because you've got all kinds of different filming locations that people travel to all the time, and you've got CGI that can make up environments, but the audience can tell. And I think a lot of times there's something to be said for authenticity. I'm not saying they should stay in California. I'm just saying I think they have bigger problems than what are currently being acknowledged. They are in some serious, serious trouble.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. But I will tell you that I am famously a pain in the you-know-what to my kids and grandkids, because every time they're watching something, I say, oh, that's the corner of so-and-so. Oh, that's over there in X neighborhood of LA or wherever, because I just, all this stuff gets recycled into the movies.
Except the Batcave. The Batcave has never been used for multiple purposes. You'll never convince me otherwise.
Well, no, but it's been used for strange sci-fi, that's for sure.
That's true.
You ever hear the Frank Zappa song "Cheapness"?
I haven't. No.
Well, listen to that song sometime. It's all about the Batcave, really, and about this movie where this monster comes out of that cave, and Peter Graves, no less, aims a blowtorch at it. And it was supposed to bleed. Well, it's a black and white movie, and in those days they used chocolate syrup for blood. And somebody set the pressure too high, and it sprayed the entire camera crew with chocolate syrup. So, and it also in the shot, you can see at the very bottom, if you look close, somebody's pushing this thing out of the cave with a 2x4. And hence the name Cheapness, Cheapnis for the song. But so that cave has covered a multitude of shall we say, sins.
And Lauren, is that is chocolate syrup being sprayed? Is that better than a peanut butter sandwich with banana?
Oh, good question.
I'm suggesting that if you eat a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich, that it's going to plug you up, and that eventually pressure will cause that plug to erupt, and you will get chocolate syrup. And you don't really want that event happening at the rate that it will occur. No, you definitely want it occurring, but not at the rate that it will occur during that event.
Can I just say,
there's something to be said for regulation.
Can I just say, speaking of regulation, that the California Crazy Commie Courts, I believe, is the Golden State's version of a peanut butter and banana sandwich, and the flow will go to other places.
I just want to remind everybody who hasn't given us a super chat yet today, this is the level of high quality, refined entertainment you tune in for, and damn it, support it.
I'm going to tell you guys, finding the way to circle that back so that we summarized off that one was everything I had inside my brain to figure out how do I bring that all together. Jonas, bring it together with super chats, please, sir.
What a fascinating through line. Justin Moore for $2. I hope Paramount moves to Tennessee or Florida, someplace red. Man, I'm hoping Tennessee personally, because Florida is very humid.
The hurricanes might disrupt some of the productions, so I think that might be disadvantageous. Maybe Austin, Texas is somewhere they would look at. Nevada is definitely on the list. We've heard New Jersey, but every time I hear New Jersey, then it's followed up with, well, it's not going to happen. So,
well, Texas is purple in parts, so that might be more favorable to them. Although to California, it's a deep red.
They abandoned Georgia. I mean, once Georgia became purple, they pulled out. They were done for.
Stafka says for $5, why did they file the case in Oakland Northern District, not to the Eastern District, where Bonta's office is a couple of blocks from the Capitol?
Because they're picking their spots where they think it'll be most productive to their point of view, and they do that all the time. The world of venue shopping.
I think Stafka knows. He's I think he might be have some legal background there. Hand the third for $5. So what you're telling me is that the PS9 is coming early. Oh man, I'm more in the state of video games right now. Michael Cooley for $5. The Squaw Man was filmed in 1914.
No, I was not. I was not even alive then, believe it or not. But I have memories.
That's why post production took so long on that one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Rowan of Strata for $10. Make the lie big, make it simple, keep saying it, and eventually they will believe it. Someone I probably can't name on YouTube, but his quotes seem to be the mainstream media playbook nowadays. Is it Ayers? Is that the guy?
Or no, Mr. Rulebook.
Oh, the other one. Yeah, I thought that was
Hillary's
his
buddy.
name was Ayers.
I thought it was Werner. I thought it was like, make the lie big, make it simple, and then stare into the eyes of a chicken. I thought it was something like that.
How did Werner Herzog become Irish?
That was.
Oh, did I make him Irish?
Oh, it was Irish.
Oh, make the lie big, make it simple, and then go find yourself a wee little chicken to look into its eyes.
It's O'Herzog now.
And to its peepers.
Yeah. Chuck, give it a loot box for 1,000 jewels.
We've tickled Lauren. Look how much we've tickled him with that. I don't even know what we did to make him so happy, but
Well, Herzog just slayed me. That's funny.
Irish Herzog there. But I appreciate this being a loot box in honor of Bobby Kotick. So
I didn't even think of it. Oh, that's clever. Thank you, Chuck.
Rowan Estrada for $5. Another, it is not propaganda's task to be intelligent. Its task is to lead to success. Yes. The purpose of propaganda is to mislead and give a satisfying answer to get someone to believe your point, even if it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom Seeker, a member for 5 months. Lou, it's funny to see one scene bounce all over LA.
Yeah. And we do.
There was one Marvel movie, not MCU, that was filmed in my hometown, and it's fun watching that whole thing. Like, oh, that never looks like that. Yeah, that place is always packed, and it makes it look like an abandoned restaurant. That's great. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. So is this peanut butter banana sandwich thing a metaphor for Disney, or is it a new $1,000 challenge for Lauren? Yeah, I'd say $1,000, and Lauren eats a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
No, he can eat
Probably the
5
easiest challenge.
for $1,000. Lauren can eat 5 fried peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Oh,
Add another 0.
I would rather.
Add another 0 before the decimal point, and we'll talk.
Elvis ate them fried in butter. I mean, literally, they say that that it was just butter melted on the pan like standing, and then they fried it in
You
that.
didn't expect Elvis to use avocado oil, did you? Or something
No. Nor do I expect Lauren to with a $1,000 challenge.
I'd rather have
10,000. 10,000.
I'd rather
10,000
have a
is
peanut butter banana sandwich than another slice of that stupid cake.
10,000 is far too high for your artery, sir.
I have learned a lesson with the last challenge. It's like the next one, you got to move the bar up. That's the
You
way
don't
this
just
works.
move the bar up.
This isn't a risk. This
Moving
is a
the bar
peanut
up is
butter and banana
2,000.
sandwich.
Tell that to Elvis.
For $1,000, I will break my diet and eat a double Whopper.
This is what we've gotten to on the grifting. We'll eat.
I'm
I
just
will
worried if we
eat a
push
big
too
arch.
far, we'll have Lauren has left the building. So
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to hand out scarves, Lauren. That's all there is to it. You have to hand out scarves.
Dreadnought Logan for $5. I feel mixed about it. I deliver to them all the time, but they do make awful movies these days. I deliver a lot of food to Hollywood. Well, I think that's where the money's going. So I hope you're getting some of that.
Kathleen Kennedy's Blue Lobster.
Ooh, that's a good point. Thinking Heretic for $2. $5. If the Ellisons don't buy Paramount and Paramount goes under, can't they just pick up the pieces for cheap?
You mean
Warner
Warner
Brothers,
because they
Yeah.
already
Roll
own
that back a little.
Paramount.
Yeah, and yes, they could, because those will be on the open market, because that's probably what's going to happen to Warner Brothers if it doesn't go through. Is that and we didn't talk about this in this. There's I think it's June 4th of next year. If it's not done by then, I don't
Whole thing
quote
blows
me
up.
on this. Still researching, but I think David Zaslav, as a representative of Warner Brothers, has the ability to terminate the entire thing and still take a massive amount of money for the company. More than they would ever make in operations, and then he would have the option of splitting everything up.
Right. So Warner Brothers would be destroyed.
And by the way, we have not seen any prominent left side billionaires, zillionaires say, well, I'll buy the CNN part if that makes you uncomfortable.
Nope. Nobody wants that.
Nobody's putting their money where their mouth is. They just using lawfare as usual.
Yep. Ted Turner's not coming up and saying, oh yeah, I'll go take that back, or whatever equivalent. I think he's probably not much around these days.
No, he's vacated the scene. So
yep. Rowan Estrada for $2. Gerbils, actually. That one.
Yeah.
Bearded Scout for $5. Regarding Spider-Man, do you think it still hasn't hit its prime because people waiting for IMAX plus people like me will go watch it again in IMAX? I am going to see it today. So, for as popular as that movie was this last weekend, there's still a large portion of the market who has yet to see it and are now hearing that there is a movie that is super popular that you all got to go see. So that's the secondary market that can really give this thing legs.
I think Spider-Man is going to have a percentage drop. I'd be shocked if a film that opened to its size did not have a drop. In fact, I'd be as shocked as I can be. Like, that would be gravity flipped upside down for the day. But I think I'm hopeful that Spider-Man will have a very good hold. The IMAX will help. I'm hopeful that the Odyssey will take a hit. Honestly, I mean, I'm not rooting against Christopher Nolan, but I think that it holding the IMAX has prevented Spider-Man from going even bigger. And so I want Spider-Man to get that market share out of the IMAX. So
400 more screens.
That's right.
Yep.
At premium prices.
$25 per ticket.
I'm hoping that it's good enough that I get to go see this one in IMAX later on, because I won't go see it again in IMAX if it's not good, which I think it's going to be good. Rowan Estrada for $5. It wasn't Roger Corman's version of Fantastic Four, was it, Jonas? No, I believe that was mostly shot on sound stages. Anyways, that's in my top 3 Fantastic Four films. I do have to say. So, Justin Moore for $2. What if you eat the PB&J sandwich on wheat bread? Lauren, I believe this is for you.
See, now here's the thing, and this is my confession. I don't actually like bananas. The only time
That's the 10,000.
The only time I like bananas are in a banana split. Weirdly, I love banana splits, but I don't tend to like bananas. I will eat them, but I'm not wild about it. So if you're going to make,
because they're not made from a chicken.
That's certainly part of it. So
how about plantains?
I've never had a plantain.
Ooh, plantains.
Fix that.
Plantains, excellent part.
Chickens would eat pieces of a plantain if they could get to them.
Yes.
We eat plantains almost daily in our house. So
yeah. Tostones, we're going to make it for you.
Archer Mercer for $2 just feels like nothing new. Hike prices, etc. If we're talking about Disney, yes, that's all they've got right now is business maneuvers.
What a boring presentation from Josh tomorrow. Holy cow!
Yeah. TJ Magnify gifted 2 jewels and their sparkles. Well, you keep your 2 jewels to yourself, Tom.
Go Sparkles.
Granite Man for $2 Canadian. With Spider-Man success, Disney profits in Twilight. It's really something, isn't it? That this company can have a huge success in some way, and it only affects them in the headlines, but not in actuality.
Jonas, when referring to a super chat that features a toilet reference, I'm going to ask you never to talk about a huge success ever again. All right, folks, finally, somebody in Hollywood is doing the right thing. At least it seems that way. We hope, because we're worried about this young actress. Ariana Grande is stepping back from the public spotlight due to ongoing public scrutiny.
Can I just point out that the ad has obviously sensed what we're talking about?
Very obviously. Ariana Grande, that's a musician. Ariana Grande says she's stepping away from the public spotlight after completing her Eternal Sunshine tour, with her reps citing years of ongoing public scrutiny as the result for her planned hiatus. Folks, we're going to tell you, ever since Wicked, something wicked has been going on, and very strange, with lots of folks who were on that set. And they need a reset, many of them. I don't know what Cynthia was up to besides helicopters, but oh my. According to a statement provided to People, Grande plans to take a step back from visibility once her tour concludes September 1st. Quote, Ariana will be taking a step back from visibility after she completes the tour. She looks forward to finishing the tour and ending it on a high note, both healthily and happily, and then taking a much-deserved break from public-facing work and appearances, which has led to an endless, ongoing public scrutiny. What are they talking about? Well, this, folks, this is Ariana Grande. You can see the picture on the left. You can see the picture on the right. Things are not all right.
Somebody get that girl a banana peanut butter sandwich, for God's sake.
Absolutely. Unless you think that we're trying to find images or AI or anything. Here's the New York Post with more of this. This is not how she once looked. And frankly, we've seen people pass, and we are not wishing that for her whatsoever. I mean, we are literally saying this needs an intervention. This needs to be fixed. We've seen people pass at greater weight than this. So, panel, did somebody finally hit the brakes on this thing? She's been saying that she's happier than ever and all this sorts of stuff, but I think we're in a dangerous territory. And frankly, I think waiting until the end of this tour is silly. They need to help this young woman.
Yeah, I think it's almost certain that somebody staged an intervention. I had not seen these images. This is even worse than I thought. This is really frightening, and I really do hope that she gets help and accepts it. That's the main thing.
It should be a role model of what not to be to America's youth. I tell you, if anybody out there is emulating this, they've got a problem too.
Absolutely. Guys, I want to ask you about the issue with Wicked and Cynthia Erivo. So everything got super weird, and Ariana obviously changed. Marvin has talked about her being a chameleon and that sort of thing, but something got so bizarre with Wicked, and we laughed about it, and we talked about it. But I'll just play a little bit of, going back in time here, and you can see that Ariana Grande weighed more during Wicked, and we were worried about her during Wicked, but something got bizarre. Here's a clip of what was happening. Well, without the audio would be nice. Maybe more without the audio. You know what? We'll just turn off the audio. There you go. Here's the one where there's a helicopter above them. And Cynthia's crying and Ariana's, telling her, go away, helicopter, go away. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this was drugs or what this was, but man, this cratered this young lady. And there might be more. There's some allegations, things happened with Nickelodeon.
There's an interesting comment that came from Jeff Goldblum, who played the wizard in Wicked, that he said that they all got into veganism. And I got to say, veganism isn't what does this, generally speaking. It can cause some loss of strength and weight loss and all that kind of stuff. And it's the right choice for some people nutritionally. But I think that was a very strange set.
Yeah, something happened, and I just want to let everybody to know we're not making fun right now. We are legitimately saying, honestly, earnestly saying, get this girl some help. Cancel the tour. Get her help now.
In answer to Lou's question, I believe the reason for the blood pressure cuff is that they were doing a hooked up to polygraph interview kind of a thing.
Did not know. Ron, your thoughts on the situation with Ariana, and that even if it's delayed, even if I disagree and think they should do it right away, at least somebody somewhere has stepped in and said, this has gone too far. We're going to get you help. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely needs to step back from the public scene for a little while. Definitely be checked out by doctors, possibly psychologists. I don't really have a clue what's going on with her. I do know that she's always had some kind of an issue where I'm going back a long time ago, and it offended me kind of disastrously.
You talking about the Nickelodeon stuff where she was?
I'm talking about when she licked the donut and she says, "I hate America, I hate America."
Oh yeah.
It was a long time ago. The fact that she did that back then, it made me wonder what her parentage is. Like, I really, when I see somebody like this, now she's an adult. Of course, she's on her own. It's different, but she started out, I think, was she a Nickelodeon kid or a Disney kid? Or both?
She's a Nick kid, and I'll show you this. We can't play the video, but Dr. Jebra Fauci says, unfortunate name, by the way. Here is Ariana Grande during her days on Nickelodeon in a variety of inappropriate scenes. Yeah, exactly.
Makes you wonder. I would never know that was her based on her current looks.
This is what she looked like as a teenager, and she was caused to do all kinds of things that are inappropriate, really inappropriate for a teenager, especially, but caused to do all kinds of inappropriate things for her TV shows on Nickelodeon. And now, of course, there's massive scrutiny on what the heck was going on there. But I think they may have messed her up all the way back then.
It just bothers me. Like a lot of the Hollywood kids, I just feel like some of them even have parents. I know Drew Barrymore's parents just we're not like, you just think about what these kids are
handed to the
allowed to go
wolves.
through. I mean, pushed to the wolves, not just handed, but like pushed to
Right.
the wolves. Some of the
Well, the
things
wolves
that-
have money sometimes, Ron, and for those who like to pretend they're lambs, they'll take that money from the wolves.
Well, when we talked about the potential of Hollywood going other places, that might not be the worst thing in the world, because the worst part of Hollywood is not necessarily its location or anything else. It's the ideological bubble of people that live there that kind of keep this negative circle just going on and on and on. And I hate to see it. You hate to see anybody that's. Some people have escaped it. Some people why I'm not the guy that played Shazam. Why can't I think of his name? Somebody
Zachary
tell me.
Levi.
Zachary Levi, when he and Dean Cain and certain other people like that who kind of have gotten away from the bubble, but still work and still do some things. And Zach talks about it a lot, how he got in it, but then he really started seeing, the negative effects of that kind of Hollywood ideology and that bubble and that exists. And it's almost frightening. Well, it really is frightening in a lot of ways, because so many not Hollywood people, so many people not from there grew up like I did, wanting to be a part of that. Like I used to, like when I was a little kid, I've been an actor, I've been an entertainer, I've done all that stuff, but I never gravitated to Hollywood. And the older I get, the more grateful I am that I didn't, because I don't know what my own vulnerabilities and weaknesses would have been had I gotten caught up in that. And it's possible that it would have been really, really bad for my life. And I think of it now, and it's one of those things where I see a very unhealthy culture that just cycles through, and too many people get caught up in that because it's so easy to do, because everybody from the outside wants fame, wants glamour, wants wealth, wants riches, and you gravitate towards that, and it can spit you out on the other side, and it's not good. Yeah.
That golden calf of fame and riches, man. People think they want it, but and maybe you do, but it's so big it will swallow you up and take you down into an abyss that you don't understand if you're not extremely confident and competent in how to handle it.
When it comes to child performers growing up, I just happened to have read just in the last couple of days Rose Marie's autobiography. This is a lady who started out by singing on a stage at age 3. And you all, of course, remember her from her more contemporary stuff, certainly Dick Van Dyke and Hollywood Squares and all that. She never stopped working, and she never became one of these monsters, and she never, ever, ever, abused, as far as I could tell from the story, her position. But she had a good mom. Her father was a monster, but she had a good mom, and she had examples around her that she was smart enough to know not to emulate. So some people say, oh, well, all of those Hollywood kids. It isn't all of them. I've had the pleasure of working with several wonderful child actors and actresses, and all of them had one thing in common: good families, good parenting. So I'm not saying everybody who screwed up didn't, because I don't know all those stories, but from my experience, that matters, folks.
Ariana needs good family and friends to step in at this time. Maybe those were missing in the past. Not going to try to cast aspersions on what happened here, but she needs people who love her to step in and help her, and we are wishing her well. We want her to be well and to be happy and to be healthy, and so that's our goal here. All right, Jonas, we're going to be sending folks over to Midnight's Edge in the morning, even though it's at noon. They've got Critical Drinker on today, and so we want to send folks that way. After Midnight's Edge, we're going to be running a later than usual That Park Place Live, and then Vash Sky will be doing a podcast after that. So continuing coverage of Disney and everything you've been seeing. Jonas, before we send folks over to Critical Drinker, Andre and Tom, Super Chats, please.
Yep. Generic Brunette, member for 14 months. Here for Shorn Lauren, can't get behind peanut butter and banana. All right. Well,
that's a man who knows he's made good choices in life.
Yep.
One of my people.
TJ Magnify for 10 jewels. Hiding.
Come out of hiding, you.
See it, Tom. I think Tom is just going through the store of free gems that they give you. I wonder. I don't know how that works on these channels. If they actually give us money for the free jewels,
Who knows? It's all okay.
Otherwise, there's probably everybody out there with a free account that's like, yeah, I'll give the jewels. Daniel Welcher for $5. I'm just a below average blue collar guy, but locations
I don't believe that.
and CGI are less important to me than good writing, characters, and plots. Yes, good writing is so much more important. When they start, this is the inverse Campbell theory of movie making. Above $100 to $150 million. After that, the more expensive a movie is, the less likely it is to be good.
I don't believe that you're below average at all. I don't accept that. But I will say kudos and respect to all of our blue collar guys out there. You keep the world running. You are something special that nothing works without you.
You raise the so-called average enormously, and just because it's not visible in the rest of the world in the media, don't mean it ain't up there. It is.
That's right.
I do think this should have been read as, I'm just a simple country lawyer. That would have been the spin to take on it. It's fine.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just a caveman bit from Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer. Cuban Superman member for 26 months. Public shaming works.
That's why in the era when there were all kinds of crazy, bizarre, horrible punishments, there was also the stockades. It was like, well, would you rather have this blazing hot thing, shoved in places it shouldn't go, or would you rather be public shamed? Oh, don't public shame me in the stockades. No, I'll take the blazing hot rod. No, I would take the stockades, but
were those
it's
my
amazing.
only two choices? Didn't they also offer them a peanut butter and banana sandwich as an option?
There is the punishment they did where they fed people enormous amounts of honey and set them out to sea, and then that's a horrible one. But Lauren, actually, maybe the PB&J with banana. That's
we fed them honey and sent them out to sea.
It's a horrible Roman punishment where they would put them in a barrel and they would feed them enormous amounts of honey into them, and then the bugs would get in the barrel and it didn't go well.
Oh dear.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
horrible.
Right.
Roman.
The
Romans
term your turn in the barrel. Is that where that came from?
Maybe so.
Bearded Scout back again for $2. A scoop of ice cream on PB&J banana sandwich. I think this is for you,
toast
Lauren.
the bread. Otherwise, it's going to get very soppy.
PB&J banana sandwich split.
Interesting. Yeah, you can caramelize the bread a little bit.
That's actually making it a little bit more appealing because you're getting closer to. It's still bananas, but if it's fried, you're getting closer to apple pie territory, kind of.
Lord, you sound like it hasn't got much spam in it. The old Monty Python spam joke.
Lauren is contemplating. I was like, well, I could come down to 5,000 on that.
Well, good luck, but I'm all for you guys trying.
Yep. Cuban Superman for $5. Truth Bomb. Ariana saw how much weight Ron lost and said, "Hold my beer." Problem is that she already had 3% body fat.
Ron has transformed. Let me tell you, Ron is working out every day and intermittent fasting and all that kind of stuff. Ron has reset the clock, and it's amazing.
Yep, thanks. He's doing great.
And if a guy who eats so many of his meals at theme parks can do it, anyone can.
Yep.
They are not exactly conducive to weight loss.
And as you say that, Lou, Ron thinks all the Dole Whips I said no to in the last year. All the Dole Whips.
Yep.
I'm just thinking of waking you guys up at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh, Ron! Yeah, we did a thing where Ron was staying in a content house with us, and we hear these groans and moans, and we're like, "What in the world is going on?" It's Ron doing his workout routine at 7 a.m.
Oh God!
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Caveat Ties sends in a silver star for 2 jewels.
You're our star, Caveat Ties.
So look at that. This 2 jewels right there. Rowan of Strata for $10. Wasp made a great album about the price of fame called The Crimson Idol. The final song, The Great Misconceptions of Me, feels quite poignant for the last section.
Yeah. If we're talking about Ariana, I get it. Yeah. She needs somebody to see her the way that needs to be seen to get her healthy, because she's her view of herself is not proper.
Yep. Let's see here. We got Timu Dr. Demento member for 7. Hello, pro panel and chat. Hope everyone is well. Hope you are well.
And a Twinkie wiener sandwich to you, sir.
Yee.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. You need to get over there and subscribe to follow the Bradley's fun. It's Ron. He'll tell you everything that's happening under the Central Florida sun. Lauren has Lauren and Apollo on That Pod Place every Tuesday and Friday night. Jonas J. Campbell is just all right. And LW Ghost can be found at patreon.com/loseviews, as well as the Genre Guys member exclusive content right here on the channel delivered weekly. Folks, we've got to be brief today. We're sending you on over to Midnight's Edge with Critical Drinker. Tell them we said hey, and tell them we said it's a raid. Folks, we're just going to wave. No outro to get you out on time. Ron, smile and wave. Lauren, come on.